Greetings folks, I hope you're all doing well out there in collecting land wherever you are, and welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review, which, to be perfectly honest with you, I never thought in a million years I'd be doing, but more of that in a moment. So today we're going to be taking a deep dive into Inart's Bruce Wayne, aka Robert Pattinson from the 2022 Matt Reeves directed movie The Batman. But before we get into it, a massive thank you to everyone who subscribes to the channel. And if you haven't already, please drop a like on this video and help more people reach the channel, and hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you don't miss any of the content that's coming up on the channel as well. And trust me, there's a hell of a lot of it. We'll be listing some of that before we go to the showcase at the end. I'd also like to say a massive thank you to William Wang over at One Man's Hobby for sourcing me this figure. You're a gent, sir, as always. A lot of the stuff you see on the channel has come from William, so if it's 1/6 or quarter scale action figures you're after, or statues, I will bung a link to his website in the description below so you can check it out. So the review will take the usual well-trodden format. It'll be box, it'll be figure, then it'll be showcase at the end. But to go back to what I was saying at the top there, I never thought I'd be doing this review. Regulars to the channel will already know that, well, they'll know this, so please don't hang me out to dry on this one. It's only an opinion. And I am a huge Batman fan, let me get that out of the way at the start. He's the character that figures the most in my collection, but I didn't really like the Batman movie particularly. I won't go into why, as I've covered that in previous videos, but suffice it to say, I am also a bit of a completionist as well, and I picked up the Inart Batman because I've not had any experience of Inart's figures. And I also just wanted to, as I say, I'm a completionist, so having the Batman in the collection was a bit of a no-brainer. There's a full review for that, by the way, for that particular figure on the channel if you want to check it out. I'll also stick a link at the end of this review. So when William Wang offered me Bruce Wayne, this particular piece, the price was too good to resist. And I thought, well, you know, Bats is there on his own on the shelf with the 6 Feet Late Studio Riddler. So I thought, well, why the hell not? I'll get Bruce Wayne to keep him company. There's also a review for the 6 Feet Lane Studio Riddler on the channel as well, and I'll stick a link to that at the end of this review. But that's enough small talk. Let's have a look at this box. Let's stop it from spinning. And it's the usual story with the Inart box. It's got that sort of minimalist, shall we say, feel about it, that really sort of high-end premium but minimalist feel, and a bit of an oversized box for a 1/6 scale figure, but it is what it is. So once you get through the brown shipper, then you're greeted with the silver shipper. So once you get through the silver shipper, then you finally get to the actual box itself. But yeah, it's pretty much very, very similar in design to the Batman figure. Those of you who've got the figure or seen the review will know what I'm talking about. Big hefty box, really good quality card. What you've got on the front is this slip cover that says the Batman on it, and when you take that off, it's done in this sort of translucent red plastic. Very nice, very nicely done. And on the back there, the camera's picking that up, it says I know what I must become. So you lose that, and like I say, it's like a Russian doll, this thing, getting into an Inart figure. Front of the box itself, you've got pretty much all in red and black. It says I know what I must become. You've got a profile shot, a stylized profile shot of Bruce himself. It says the Batman across the middle, Inart in the top left hand corner, 1/6 scale collectible figure, and all the usual credits and DC credits, Warner Brothers credits at the bottom there. On the side, very simple, just says the Batman. On the other side, it's pretty much blank, other than the fact that it says 1/6 scale collectible figure. This is the standard version of this figure, and there are a number of versions out there. There's the rooted hair version. I think there's an alternate head sculpt version. There are so many different versions these days, but yeah, this is the standard sculpted hair version. So what have we got around the back? Around the back, pretty much the same as the Batman box. It says, I am the shadows. You've got these bats here, these stylized bats. Once again, it says, I know what I must become at the bottom there. Nothing particularly on the top other than Inart's logo. And on the bottom of the box, if I can get this into shot, you have got all the usual credits and warnings there. I think included there it says, don't piss this figure off or it might become vengeance and wreak vengeance upon you. So yeah, there you have it. That's the box, and it's the usual premium feel that we've come to expect from Inart. So without further ado, before we do, before we dive down to the accessories, this is actually a magnetically sealed clasp box, this one, and when you swing it open, I guarantee you the instructions are going to fall out. Yes, they are. This is a brand new figure, by the way. It literally has just come through the door. I've ripped it out of the hands of the delivery person and it's gone straight in front of the camera. Once you open up the box itself, what you are greeted with, if the camera's catching that, is another profile shot, a stylized profile shot of Michael Pattinson himself as Bruce Wayne. It says the Batman at the bottom there. Obviously, all the instructions and the bits and pieces fell out when I opened it. You've got the normal foam inlay there, and if you remove that, you've got the figure underneath. So, yeah, there it is. So, that's the box. So, without further ado, let's dive down onto the table and take a look at all the accessories that come with your Bruce Wayne figure. Okay, so here we are down on the table with all of the accessories that come with your Inart Bruce Wayne. And not a vast amount to go at, to be honest with you, quite Spartan. I knew what to expect. I'd seen other YouTubers' video reviews of this figure, but I can't help but think for a figure this high-end and that commands this price point, you might want to see a little bit more than this, but we'll soldier on, we'll crack on. We'll start with the mundane stuff. As with the Batman figure, you get this sort of I would say certificate of authenticity card, but it's just a little sort of presentation card. And if you're wanting to fold it down that serrated edge there and put it in the display, you can if you want. And it's got a picture of the figure on the front there with the head sculpt, and it says the Batman in sort of this silver foil reflective lettering, and just very, very nice. I think it's meant to look like a key card, very nicely done. You get this. I ain't got a clue what that is. Don't speak that particular language, so no idea what that is, but that's included. You get the standard silver envelope that you get with Inart figures that makes you feel like you're about to present an award at the Oscars, and inside you get the usual sort of high gloss thank you letter from Inart for choosing their products. So that's there. Put that to one side, and you also get the instruction booklet. Now, instruction booklet here is of the same high quality that we see with Inart. Really, really nicely presented, super high gloss paper, and just covers every aspect and down to every little detail. I mean, even down to a breakdown of each of the individual hands and what they're for. There's a money pinching left hand, there's a key pinching right hand, but we'll get to that. But very, very thorough. I have had cars with instruction booklets that aren't as comprehensive as this. Really, really nice, really, really high quality. Feels premium, feels high end, and covers all the bits that you really need to know. So that's the instruction booklet. Let's take a look at the hands. Now we've got the mundane stuff out the way. You're looking at an odd number of hands here. There's a pair already on the figure, and then there's another 5 hands here. So you're getting a total of 7 hands. Now there's an open palm pair on the figure, as I mentioned, and the rest of the hands are designed for gripping the accessories, as you saw in the instruction manual. There is a key pinching hand and a money pinching hand, but we'll grab a couple at random just to see what kind of quality we're looking at here. This is, I'm assuming, one of the pinching hands. Not sure what it's supposed to be pinching, but we'll get to that. The sculpt looks really good here, up to the usual Inart high standards. Paint applications are really nice. The sculpt is really nice. Down to, and I'll try and get this into camera, even down to the cuticles on the fingernails, really, really well done. There's creasing on there, the bone works there, the vein works there, even down to the tiny little scratch on his forefinger there on the knuckle of his forefinger. So yeah, detailing is really nice, paint applications are really nice, flexibility test. Oh, this is a medium to hard. Mind you, I suppose it will be. This is not actually, this is probably a good sign actually, because if it's gripping keys and money, you're going to want some pressure between that thumb and forefinger. So having it too soft would cause issues. Considering it's not gripping anything else, I can see why Inart have gone for a hard plastic hand here. Makes sense. So yeah, let's grab another one at random just to see if it's the same quality. I'm sure it will be, but yeah, here's another gripping hand. Same quality here. There's reddening on the knuckles there. Just really nicely done, really nicely painted, really nicely sculpted. What we've come to expect from Inart. So that's the hands. We'll pop those to one side. What else do you get? We'll take a look at these now. You get these with the Batman figure as well, and these are the cards that Riddler sends to the Batman, and they've all been reproduced accurately from the film. I'm not going to go through all of them. They come with their own individual envelopes. The lettering on there is screen accurate, absolutely on point, and you also get the corresponding cards. Yeah, these will fly all over the place because I've got sausage fingers. But yeah, once again, the screen accuracy is absolutely 100% on point. Having revisited the film, and yeah, I know I'm not a massive fan, but I keep going back and trying to like it. But yeah, I'll just pick one at random. In these trying times, never forget. And if I can open this up on camera without dropping it, yeah. It says, I'm just a phone call away. An answer has been scribbled in there, and there's all kinds of things going on the left-hand side here. Can't quite, oh, it just says ring, 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 ring on the inside there. So yeah, really nicely done, really screen accurate. I don't use these in the display, but they're nice to have. These will be going straight back in the box. Yeah, a nice little touch there from Inart. So I'll pop those to one side. Well, we just looked at the hands, so we might as well look at what the hands hold. You get this stack of $100 bills, and they're already deciding to go everywhere, but they're really nicely done. I'll try and get these a bit closer into camera while I'm retrieving that last one. But yeah, double-sided, which is good to see, and if the light's picking this up, just really, really nicely printed. And really nicely done on a sort of a medium stock paper there. So yeah, that's the stack of $100 bills. Put those to one side. The car key as well, the other thing that he grips. All one piece of sculpted plastic by the feel of it. I think it is. I'm not going to test if that's metal or not. It could be. If anybody knows, drop a comment in the comment section below. Is that metal or plastic? Feels like plastic to me. Feels all plastic. Maybe that little ring there that's holding the key on is metal. But yeah, relatively simple, but nicely done. So the car key. And you also get these protest signs. Now, these are really nice. These are printed on a relatively thick plastic. Once again, the screen accuracy is here, so these are really solid. They're not card. They're nice and solid, and they are screen accurate. You get this one that says lies, lies, lies. There's the Riddler symbol on this one. Our Day of Judgment on this one that's meant to look like it's been done on wood, and then another Riddler symbol as well. And as you can hear, they're sturdy. These aren't going to fall apart over time. Nicely done, and they come with these stands. Now, I haven't put one of these together yet. I might try and do that off camera before the showcase. Although I don't think this is something I'm going to be using. If I do use it, I might just sort of position them around in the display. But yeah, you get these stands, and in the instructions it shows you how to construct this. There's some bending and twisting and stuff that goes on, and then it gets stuck to the back of here, and the stand will hold this up, so you can pop these things in the display if you're wanting to use them. Not something I'm really going to be using, I don't think, in the display, to be honest. Takes up too much real estate, although they do look nice. And if you've got the space for them, yeah, I can see these working really, really well if you're wanting to lay out a sort of the Batman diorama. So yeah, nice inclusion there from Inart. So that's the protest signs. We'll pop those to one side. And finally, the base. Yeah, the base. Where to begin? All one piece of sculpted plastic. Hollow, as always, because it's got those magnetic feet inside, those moving magnets to hold the feet. On the bottom here, says Batman, Bruce Wayne. There's no felt pad here, but it's got this sort of coating around the sides. Will add some friction so it doesn't slide around too much in your display. And once again, I am having kittens seeing what I'm seeing, and it's this thing drives me up the wall. Come on, Inart, get a grip. The Batman figure drove me up the wall, and this one did too. Off camera, before doing this shot, I had to take a screwdriver to it again. It's almost in the open position, but to get to the magnets underneath, what you're supposed to do is where these arrows are pointing is you're supposed to push with your thumbs to get it to open. One dot indicates closed, 2 dots indicates open. These things just do not move. I've left it close to 2 in an effort to try and get it to open on camera. That might just open. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, that is just it's ludicrous. It doesn't want to shift. I've had to take a screwdriver to both the Bruce Wayne and the Batman stands, and you're risking scratching it or damaging it. So yeah, come on, Inart. Get a grip with that, and come up with a better solution. But yeah, once you get that cover off, what you're greeted with is the magnet system inside, which sort of works. He said confidently. Yeah, you've got these 2 moving magnets on the inside here, which you can move with your thumbs, and they go in and out. They go backwards and forwards, up and down. And you can move them to position the feet to where you want them, and obviously there are corresponding magnets in the feet, which will attach the figure to the base. It sort of works. It's sort of a good idea, but as I found with the Batman, it can be a real pain in the arse finding the sweet spot, because these aren't the biggest magnets in the world, and it can be a bit problematic, but it takes a bit of futzing. It's not ideal. It's a good idea, but to me, it's a good idea that's yet to be perfected. So yeah, but the actual base itself, I'm going to leave this off while we talk about the rest of the base, simply because if I reattach it, I'll never get it off again, or I will, but it'll be in 2 hours' time, and I'll be swearing a lot. So the actual base itself is just a hollow plastic, meant to sort of represent this concrete. This stone slab. The paint applications are nice. There's cracks in there. The paint washes are good. You've got the Wayne symbol on the front there in gold, which is a nice little touch. But I've got to say, overall, this is meant to be a premium figure, and I would expect, and at this price point, I would expect something a little bit more. I won't say spectacular, but just something a little bit better. So I'm not too impressed with this, to be honest with you. It looks like something that would come with a mid-range priced figure to me, but it is what it is. So that's the stand. That's all the accessories. So without further ado, let's put these stand back together. Let's bring out Bruce himself, get him onto the stand, get him onto the turntable, and take a close-up look at him. Okay, so here he is. It's Bruce Wayne himself, aka Mr. Pattinson, out of the box, onto the stand and onto the turntable. And first impressions, I have to say, are really, really good. I was a little bit concerned, but we'll get to those concerns as we work our way through the figure. But yeah, proportions absolutely spot on. Literally just taking it out of the box and put it on the stand in front of the camera. As you know, it's a new figure to me, and what struck me straight away was the weight of the figure. The body feels like it's really, really good quality, and it was the tailoring. Just the feel of the clothing was phenomenal straight out of the box. So yeah, very, very positive first impressions. But we will do what we always do. We will start at the bottom and work our way up and take a close-up look at this guy. So let's stop him from spinning, get him off the stand. We'll get this out of the way first. I'm not a huge fan of these bases and this solution, as I mentioned in the previous section, because what happens is, as you can see, when I pick him up, the magnets are actually in the heels of the, or it feels, yeah, they are. They're pretty much in the heels of the shoes themselves. So what happens is, as you can see here, you get this thing going on where there's the lack of stability and a lack of, yeah, as you can see, a little bit of a jiggle here, and the whole thing starts to wobble around. It falls off, and he's not stable on this stand at all. Caustic plastic have a solution which isn't perfect either. When it comes to this price point, as I mentioned before, when it comes to the high-end figures, really I would expect a solution better than this. So yeah, that's that gripe out the way, because if I shake this enough, it's going to fall off. Yeah, I mean, not that you're going to do this with your figures anyway, but yeah, it isn't stable on this base, and it's a problem, I think, with the Batman, and yeah, Inart come up with a solution. So that's enough of me griping about the stand and the magnets. Let's put those to one side and let's take a close-up look at him. So we'll start at the bottom and work our way up. Now, the brogues that he's got on the Oxfords here are all one piece of sculpted plastic. I'll try and get these in shot. They are, I've got to admit, and this sounds like I'm being nitpicky, but I would expect to see real laces and a little bit more, I'll not say detailing, but they just don't come off as I'm trying to be polite here. Basically, these are the shoes I would expect to see on a much cheaper figure. Let's call it what it is. That's what I'm seeing here. But yeah, there's some tread on the bottom with some weathering on it. They're pretty well sculpted, but they, you know, if I was to take these off this figure, they would look like what they are, which is relatively cheap plastic shoes. But yeah, we'll work our way up. They're pegged into the feet there. There are black socks, which is nice to see. And there's a full range of articulation in there. Lateral movement, forward and backward. Working our way up now. I'll try and get this in shot now. I mentioned the material that's used here. I'm going to open this coat up so we can see the suit underneath. I'm not going to take the coat off because this review is going to go on way too long if I do. But yeah. Straight away, the quality of the tailoring on this black suit. It's a simple single-breasted black suit, nothing particularly fancy, but what you do get straight away is the quality of the cotton that's been used here. You can feel it. It really, really is very, very good quality cotton. Stitch work, exemplary. The cut and the fall, absolutely on point. The screen accuracy is there. If the light's catching this, you move up to the waist itself. Now the waist is belted. There's that I have only just noticed is that bunching there. That is not a good look. Now I don't know how that's happened. What's going on there? It looks to me like these trousers are too big. As I say, this is the first time I've seen this figure, so it's a voyage of discovery for all of us. But yeah, that looks to me. That is not good. Not good at all. Those trousers are way too big, and they've just put this belt on super tight, and it's just, if you're wanting to display this with the jacket open, yes, that's going to be a no-go. It looks like these trousers, he's wearing trousers that are 3 or 4 sizes too big for him. It looks like there's a Velcro fastening under there as well, but yeah, that's not good. Not good at all. The tailoring is nice, but they're oversized at the top. Yeah, but okay, moving swiftly on. The jacket itself, really nicely tailored. Have you got functioning pockets here? We have, yeah, functioning pockets in this jacket. And I'm going to raise that old chestnut again, which I always bang on about. I think getting a suit on a 1/6 scale figure to look correct and to hang correctly is one of the hardest things that any manufacturer will ever have to do, and I think they've done a really good job here, bar the oversized pants for some reason. But yeah, the jacket itself is that same high quality of material as the pants. Screen accuracy is there. You've got a white cotton shirt underneath, and the stitch work looks really, really nice. If I'm getting close there, the stitch work on that collar is very, very good. It's good to see as well they've gone for that slightly more rigid material in the tie there, so the fall is correctly. It's not super rigid, but it's got just enough rigidity in there so it keeps its shape. You're not having to futz it around all over the place. The coat. This coat is really, really nice. I don't know what it's made out of, but it's got a lovely plush brushed feel to it as well, almost like a wool. I mean, I don't think it is, obviously it's not a wool, it's probably a man-made fibre that's been brushed, but it really is, it feels luxurious and expensive. And the cut and the finish on that jacket, let's just flip him around the back so you can see, yeah, you've got the belt on there as well. It's got this sort of sheen to it, which is screen accurate to the coat that Mr. Pattinson wore in the film. Yeah, so it's absolutely on point with the color and the sheen. Obviously it's black, the vast majority of this figure is black, so it's going to be a dust magnet. It's already attracting dust and it's only been out of the box about 10 minutes. But yeah, loving the cut on that coat. Really nice. It's got that it's got a lining in there as well, and down at the bottom here you've got wires in the bottom, which is nice to see, and these wires run all the way around the full length of each side of the coat, obviously stopping at the vent there. So if you're wanting to have this, you want to suppose it was a slightly more windswept and interesting look, that's an option as well. The wires don't run up the front of the front of the coat, but yeah, just around the bottom. But yeah, it gives you options here to have it off to one side, or it just gives it that dynamic look. I always like to futz around with wide coats, and it just adds that extra dimension of realism when you're putting it into your display. I believe the functioning pockets in this rather beautiful coat as well. So yeah, nicely done. And as I say, the body feels it feels very solid indeed. Joints are all ratcheted, those knee joints. Let's check the articulation. Yeah, that's on a ratchet joint. You get to about there on there. There's no double bend there, but it feels quality, the ratchet. It's not jarring. It moves in small increments rather than big chunky movements. I think collectors will know what I mean. It's a very smooth ratchet. Let's try the hips out. Yeah, you've got a butterfly joint there at the hip, and there's lots of movement there as well. Let's check the waist. Get my hands in here. Good movement at the waist there. Yeah, there's a nice amount of movement there. Let's try the arms, and we've got up to not so much there, but I mean, I think that's probably down to the amount of layers he's got on as well. And fair to notice as well, it's good to see that the showing cuff here, which is exactly screen accurate as well. I like to see that, but yeah, there's probably get him up to about 45 degrees there and no further. Yeah, butterfly joint at the shoulder as well, which is great to see. So you've got an awful lot of range of movement in there, although you are restricted somewhat by this coat. Yeah, but the body feels quality. So let's take a look at this head sculpt now. I'll try and get this as close in as possible. When I've seen photographs of this head sculpt, and I was, how can I put this? I felt like there was something off. Whenever I watched a video or I saw photographs of it, I thought there's something not quite right there. There's something off. But now I've got it in hand, I've got to say, it's sort of allayed my fears somewhat. We often hear this expression, oh, it's far better in hand. But this figure actually is. That element of that was putting me off, and I'm not sure what it is now, doesn't seem to be present now I've got it in hand. I think it's an absolutely excellent head sculpt. Fixed necked head sculpt, obviously, and this is the sculpted hair version, as we mentioned at the top there. But let's have a closer look at the detail. The paint application's absolutely on point. I think the sculpt, yeah, is it 100%? It's damn close. I would say 99.9% maybe. Yeah. Is it absolutely 100%? I think it's close enough not to make any difference. Let's put it that way. But yeah, the sculpt absolutely on point. The articulation is pretty good for a fixed neck head sculpt. So you've got a full range of motion in there. You can have it looking backwards, forwards. Yeah. Really good articulation there. So great sculpt. The paint applications, let's get this as close in as I can without the camera going out of focus. Very, very good indeed. The skin texturing is great. You've got a 5 o'clock shadow on there. Only a slight hint of 5 o'clock shadow, which runs down into the neck area. The eyes are beautifully glassy. That profile is absolutely 100% Mr. Pattinson. Pretty much from every angle, it's absolutely nailed on. And that hair is really, really nicely sculpted. You can see individual strands in there. The colour is right, the style is right, and the fall is right. So yeah, great head sculpt. Absolutely spot on head sculpt. So yeah, there you have it. That's Mr. Pattinson as Bruce Wayne from the Batman movie. Let's get him back on the stand, get him spinning again, and going for final thoughts on this guy. Now, I'm going to try and find the sweet spot in here, but I know he's probably going to fall over, but I hope he doesn't. No, that's just, this is the issue. you have here. Now, one of those magnets is attached, and one of them, that's probably because I moved the legs. So then you've got to try and find where the other magnet is. Hopefully, he will not fall over at this point. I'm hoping he doesn't. Let's just move him back a little bit to get him all in shot. Get him spinning again and get final thoughts on this guy. Right, where to begin? Final thoughts. Well, straight away, tailoring. Let's get that out of the way. Tailoring, absolutely phenomenal. The materials they've used, the screen accuracy that is there. That suit is really, really nicely cut, but it's let down. Well, I'll say it's let down. It's not something you really see, but why has he got oversized pants on? Why is his waistline, the waistline of his trousers, not the same as the waistline of the figure? That makes no sense. I'd be interested to hear if you've got this figure. Is it something that you've encountered with yours? Please drop a comment in the comment section below. But bar the pant issue, and the tailoring is absolutely nailed on. Stitch work phenomenal. That coat is great. The suit absolutely on point. Just really, really nicely done. I don't think I've seen a better 1/6 scale white shirt in a long, long time. So yeah, tailoring is nailed on. The body is really good. The articulation is fantastic, and that head sculpt is absolutely on point as well. Niggles. There are a few minor ones here. That stand, most certainly, really grinds my gears, and I really wish Inart would do something about it. Whether it's improving how the magnetic system works, I'm not sure, but something needs to be done. Let's put it that way. And I think as well, the base on here should have been better, and I don't mean in its design. I mean in its appearance. We should have had something at this price point, a high-end figure. We should have something a little bit more spectacular than just a slab of rock. Let's put it that way. But that's really the only gripes I've got with this figure. The trousers, the base, and maybe the accessories are a little bit Spartan as well. And part of me, yes, I can see where the money is in certain places on this figure, but in other places I can see where the money isn't, if that makes any sense. And I'm never going to mark a figure down because of its price point, because this is subjective. You know, something is only worth what you're prepared to pay for it. But I'm not sure if I can give this a 10. I'm not sure. Part of me wants to, but another part of me, no. I'm going to go a 9.5. And it's nothing to do with the head sculpt. I'm going to mark it down as a 9.5 because I don't think that the base solution, that's what lets it down. That's where that half a point is going. It's that base and those pants. Why the ill-fitting pants, and why this stand? If the stand was better and those pants weren't all bunched up around his waist, this would have been a straight 10 for me. But as it stands, it's going to be a 9.5. So there you have it. That's the final verdict on Mr. Bruce Wayne, courtesy of Inart. I hope this review's been useful for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. What are your thoughts on Inart? What are your thoughts on the movie, the Batman movie? What are your thoughts on this figure? I would be fascinated to hear, so please drop a comment in the comment section below. Nothing's off menu, so fire away. And I suppose all it remains for me to say is a quick rundown of what's coming up on the channel. I'm not going to cover too much, but suffice it to say, we have got a raft of hot toys, a raft of present toys, a raft of Premiere toys and caustic plastic and Susu toys, and I'm not going to cover each one because we'd be here all night. But yeah, loads of stuff coming in the 1/6 scale world. We've got stuff coming in the 1/4 scale statue world as well. There'll be showcases and previews, and of course I will continue to torture myself for your amusement with more episodes of Don't Make Me Choose. Yeah, and also worth mentioning, got a couple of Grail pieces that are coming up for review. One quite old, one quite new. These are things that I've been after for a long, long time. Don't want to give too much away, but yeah, they're coming up for review soon as well. And we've also got a Halloween special coming up to celebrate Sam Hain. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon so you're not missing anything. And so yeah, I suppose all it remains for me to say, massive thank you for watching as always. Take care of yourselves, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.